Welcome to the Elevated Woman's Podcast, your guide to optimal health and confidence. I'm Dr. Ade Akindipe, family nurse practitioner and women's health coach. I help women in midlife reset their bodies and reclaim their confidence. So this is the place where real talk meets real solutions. No quick fixes, no fluff, just the tools, strategies, and stories you need to break free from stubborn weight gain, balancing your hormones, and stepping into your healthiest self yet. Whether you're navigating perimenopause, menopause, or simply just tired of feeling like your body's working against you, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Hey ladies, so today we're going to talk about the all or nothing mindset. So this is where we're going to break the cycle of just feeling like every little thing that you do matters to the point where you have to keep starting over and over and over and over again. Okay, so tell me if this sounds familiar. You started a new plan or a diet. You go all in, you work out 6 days a week, you meal prep, you drink all the water, and then life happens. You miss one workout, you eat one cookie, and suddenly you're like, well, I blew it. You stop, and then you start to shame yourself, and then you start to spiral. And this happens over and over again, and it leads to frustration. Okay, how many of you have ever experienced this? I have experienced it. I lived like this for years, every single day. And then I talk to my clients, it's the same thing. I've tried this diet and that diet, and I can't stay accountable. Things happen in life, and I just throw everything away. And a lot of times we women, we blame ourselves. We're like, I just don't have the willpower. I need someone to hold my hand. But really just been trained by the diet culture to believe that it has to be this way or it doesn't work, that you're not perfect, that you failed. But here's what I've learned. Your body, especially as you're navigating these hormonal changes, ladies, it needs consistency. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. It doesn't matter what plan you're on. It doesn't matter who you're working with. If you're not consistent with anything, it's difficult, okay? But it doesn't come from punishing yourself. It comes from trusting yourself. So every time you're starting over, you're telling your brain you can't trust yourself to follow through this thing. Does that make sense? But when you show up imperfectly, keyword, imperfectly, but consistently, you rebuild that trust one small promise at a time. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm in this challenge with a bunch of women and men. It's called the 75 Hard Challenge. I've talked about it in another episode. And this particular challenge really challenged me to be consistent with these 5 tasks that we are challenged with. Now, I was able to follow through. We're almost done with the challenge, but there are certain days where I really want to go all in on a particular part of that exercise. But I had to take a step back and say, okay, Ade, you have too many things going on. How can we adjust so that you can still meet your goals, but you might not be able to go as hard as you wanted to, right? How can I maintain consistency, but maybe it might not be at 100% today because of what's happening in my life right now, okay? So you know what makes the all or nothing mindset so sneaky? Because you know, a lot of times we come in and we're trying to go hard, or we learn something really works. We read a book about it. Everything's perfect. The pantry is stocked with everything that you need. And that intensity gives you this rush, right? Like a sense of control. There's structure and hope. You feel like, oh, wow, I just can't wait. And you're getting on the scale. Underneath it, there's that fear of losing progress, fear of failure, fear of being seen as someone who can't stick with something, right? This is familiar for everybody. But when you allow fear to drive the bus, your body never really feels safe enough to relax and allow it to change. So you end up just pushing through instead of building rhythms that last. So that's what's really happening in your body. When you live in constant extreme dieting, extreme exercising, starving, then binging, pushing, then crashing, your nervous system experiences chaos. And if you've been doing that for years and years and years, and then you start to navigate these hormonal changes, you can see how this can get really worse. That chaos triggers stress hormones like cortisol, which can slow down your metabolism even more. spike your craving, and then you end up eating more because you've gotten to a point where you that structure, it's just hard for you to sustain it. When you go on any diet or any kind of plan like that, always think about that. How long can I sustain this? Can I take this for a long time? I understand sometimes you might want to do things like a detox. You want to give your gut a break. That's different. Taking a break from alcohol or doing some fasting, those intermittent things is not what I'm talking about. It's the thing that you stick with because you feel like this is what's going to get you that end result. So oftentimes when I work with my patients, my clients, I tell them, try not to focus on that end result. People look at weight loss or improving energy or improving their overall quality of life. They're looking at that end point. I have to get to 130 pounds by this month. I have to, instead of doing that, focusing on that number or that end thing, whatever it is that you're looking for, focus on what's going to make this sustainable for me and not make it be around a certain number, if I'm making any sense. So when it comes to longevity, sustainability, it's a lifetime commitment, if that makes sense, right? So you don't want to focus on pounds. And that's why women get so irritated and frustrated when they don't see that number shifting because they're trying to work so hard, right? But I understand. I don't want to sound naive and think, well, you don't understand what it's like. I've been struggling with this all my life. No, I totally get it. But that's where the mindset shift has to come in because you've been trying so hard for so many years, so many different diets. But that mindset needs to come to talk about not being perfect. It's about your identity. What are your struggles? What are some things you need to discover? Like we talked about in the discovery phase, right? The root of your story. You've been the motivated one, the fixer, or the disciplined one your whole life. So you don't know who you are without a plan. You have to have a plan in place. Sometimes people will come in and say, well, what's my plan? What diet am I on? I'm like, well, we do things a little different around here. We're not going to necessarily put you on a plan. Let's figure out what you need. What does your body need? That's where personalized care comes in. We're not going to put you on a plan that your sister did. Well, my sister did this and we have kind of the same, we used to eat the same, and in our house, this is how we used to wear the same clothes. No, this is your own body. It should be around you, right? Or maybe you've carried the belief that you struggle equals worth, right? You struggle. That's how much you're worth. When things start to feel easy, you self-sabotage. That's another thing. You self-sabotage because easy feels unsafe. So here's how that shows up. You restart every Monday. You quit after one off meal. You think missing one workout erases all your progress. Can you relate with that? You measure success by weighing yourself every single day. You call yourself lazy when you're just tired. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to not want to work out today. It's time to rewire your approach to health, right? So let's talk about how we break this cycle for good with strategies that are doable, human, and not just another checklist that you have to do. Okay. So if you're giving 100%, you're burning out. If you're aiming for 80%, you'll actually stay in the game. I'm telling you, this works. Don't always aim for 100% all the time. You're not going to get it right every single time. Okay. Ask yourself, what does good enough look like today? I just talked to you about me being in this challenge. And there are some days I really want to get more workout and I really want to burn more calories, but I know that I have a full plate today. How about I do a yoga exercise instead? How about I do some exercises around my office, body weights or stretching, because that's what I can do today. Or maybe today's a rest day where I do nothing, right? So when you mess up, you're not starting over. You keep going, okay? Ask, what's the next nourishing choice I can make in the next 24 hours? I ate this cookie and that's all right. I enjoyed that cookie. It was delicious. How am I going to nourish and make sure that I'm eating to fuel my body the next meal? That small window stops the shame spiral and builds self-trust faster than any macro plan or any keto diet or anything like that, okay? So ask yourself, do I follow people who make balance look like a photo shoot? Are you on social media and you're just following what they're doing? Do I keep trigger foods front and center when I'm still healing my relationship with them? If you know your weaknesses, why are you keeping them around you, right? Is my calendar setting me up for success or for burnout? right? Change your environment before you try to change your behavior. It makes sense. You have to make your environment work so that you can be successful consistently. Weight loss goals are fine. I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying if you want to get to 130 pounds and that's a healthy weight for you and you feel great there, that's okay. But your feelings drive behavior. Okay. How do I want to feel in my body? Try to reframe how you're looking at this. Energized, calm. Do I want to feel proud? I want to feel confident. I want to wear certain clothes and feel great in it. Let that feeling guide your choices. The brain follows emotion before logic. Remember that. The brain follows emotion before logic. So once a week, do something that breaks your own rules on purpose. I want you to do it on purpose. Okay. I'm at work sometimes and there's somebody brought something. I will have a snack. I'm not going to be like, well, I'm not saying that you know yourself, right? I mean, if you've been eating unhealthy all week, that's different, right? But allow yourself to live life, enjoy. Okay. That's what's going to make this plan, whatever plan you're on, successful and sustainable. So you don't need to overhaul your life, all right? You just need to show up consistently in small ways until your brain learns to trust you again. I tell the story of a woman I'm really close to that just decided to go on this journey of health. And I'm super proud of her. She gets up every day and walks. She would walk a mile. Now she probably can walk more miles than I can. It's consistency. Now she's lost about over 20 pounds, I believe, right? Just keep going. It's not about perfection. It's about peace, about the peace that comes when you finally feel good enough. And good enough, you get to determine that, not social media, not your friends, not anybody. You get to determine that. Okay. All right. So if this episode hits home with you, I want you to share it, subscribe, comment, send us messages, look in the show notes, start somewhere. And if you're ready to walk out with some guidance, then apply for our Elevated Women's VIP coaching experience. If you're not ready for the VIP one-on-one, we also have group masterminds. We have different ways to work with you to get you to your optimal health and wellness and become the elevated woman that you already are. Okay, so remember, stop chasing perfect. Okay, the ones that actually reach their goals are the ones that allow themselves to relax a little bit and enjoy their life. Okay, you deserve it. All right, stay elevated. Thank you for tuning in to the Elevated Women's podcast. If today's episode resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs this conversation too. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start thriving, head over to our website. It's listed in the show notes to learn more about our Elevated Women's coaching program. That's where we take these conversations deeper and create a more personalized plan for your hormones, your weight, energy, and more. Check out our show notes. I've linked free tools and cheat sheets to help you get started right away. For more daily tips and inspiration, come hang out with me on Instagram at The Elevated Woman Coach. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Thriving Over 40 with Dr. Akindipe. Until next time, stay elevated.